It's one of my caissons in the background. It looks like a little bit. Yeah. Yep, that's a little bit. And also in the background is my work table. All kinds of stuff on it. So what I would like to do right now is just say hello to everybody, let you know I'm back. New computer. New setup. Let's swap positions. Well, I mean in the room. Who knows what other positions, but certainly not me. And I would probably like to go ahead and just do this as a live update, even if I don't think there's anybody watching right now. So, what have I been up to? Okay, I got into Conflict 47. That's the Weird Wars version of Bolt Action. As I explained to other people, Bolt Action and I have had a sometimes contentious relationship. Yeah. Mostly on my part. It was, well, I expected the game or wanted the game to be one thing and it was something else. And I got childishly PO'd and walked away from it. There were some things that I did have legitimate complaints over, I felt. Some of the rules didn't make any sense or were just silly, I thought. And then they brought out second edition, cleaned all, and they had all that cleaned up, and I'm, whoa, it's pretty decent now. Oh, God, I'm getting a really cool reflection. Maybe I should just go ahead and do this and look off into the distance nobly. All right, that'll work. Instead of looking at shelves full of paints and books and figures, so you go. But it was, I got back into it. I read second edition Bolt Action. I thought, hey, it's really good. And I came across Conflict 47. And I was drawn to it by a couple of things. One, it uses the Bolt Action core rules, so that's cool. Which means I've also got lots of stuff already painted up that I use for World War II that I can use. And the figures themselves, the vehicles and such, are really nice. They have a very good, I guess you'd say, aesthetic, for want of a better word, to them. They look good. They look like something that might come out of Detroit or, excuse me, folks, German, factories or Soviet Tankograds or whatever. And all in all, pretty good. Of course, still going on with Saga. Now I'm into starting to build a Norman war band. I've got all the latest stuff. Second edition Saga, which is really good. By Age of the Vikings and Age of Crusades, the two supplements there, which replace a lot of their early stuff. I very much like it. I play a lot of Saga. I like the game very much because it combines all the elements. It combines board game because you have battle boards and you have to, you have so many Saga dice, as they're called, that you use to activate your different abilities. And it's kind of like a resource management board game. And then there's there's a certain amount of RPG aspect to it as well. But then there is to me to every miniature game I've ever played. People say, well, those are historical miniatures, and it's really different. No, it's not. You're still role playing. You're still role playing. How many times have I seen war game adverts that go, in this game, you take the role of, okay, so you're not a wizard or a barbarian, berserker, or what have you. You're a general or whatever appropriate command rank. Excuse me. Oh, it's getting late. It's national, you're the national command authority. And I think that's really good. And I don't think that people stop to think about that. There are still a lot of war gamers out there who really look down their noses at people who play RPGs, as these sort of gothic flakeoids. And I'm like, well, I guess that includes me. And unfortunately, there are also, I've known RPGers who kind of look at me like, oh, you play those fascist games. Although, admittedly, not as many as the old schoolers who are like, oh, you play RPGs. And my answer is, yeah, come on, play. I enjoy it. Been doing it for years. And that's been my thing. Is it a good game? If you're having fun playing it, or you're having fun running it, and other folks are having fun playing it, it's a good game. That philosophy is now my 100% go-to. I may not be interested in playing it. That doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that I'm not interested. This is not a subject that, interests me. Although more than likely, I may just say, hey, you got an extra unit I can run. I'll roll some dice here. So, or, if you want to play, Frank, you want to play Starfinder? Yeah. Okay. I'll at least, if you've got a pre-gen character, I'll grab that and we'll get going. I'll play. I tend to, if people play in my games that I run, I play in theirs. It's a matter of courtesy. It's a matter of, they've taken time to come and play, and enjoy the game that you've set up. And to me, that's a really, really nice way, nice thing. So I'm like, yeah, I'll come play yours. It's always worked well. It's always, always, always worked well. Made for some enjoyable environments. And I've seen a lot in my time. What I like now in gaming, in the tabletop gaming, is the inclusion now. I like that there are different faces around that table. I like, minorities, women. Come join, come on, Because I think basically I simply do not believe in race as anything but a social construct. So inherent genetic superiority. Yeah, we've got markers for different shapes of noses and skin colors and such. But the potential, the brain power is there. And it's the same. You have that potential. So what's the big deal? Friends are friends, and it's always good to have them around the table. And I think that's important. I also think that it's, please pray remember when you are running a game at a convention, there are people who've come to that convention that want to play in your game. And they've gone ahead and they've paid money, and especially if they're out of towners, they've not only paid the convention fee, they've also paid for hotel and, meals and such. So see what you can do, welcome them. I always do. I think it's fun. Some conventions you wind up paying what amounts to a table fee. I think it was a Gen Con the last year I ran a scenario where I could have actually charged, an admission fee, but I was like, God, these people, these folks have put out enough money as it is. I'm not going to add to their burden. And I said that up front. And I said, well, if somebody wants to buy me a soda or something, I'm not going to turn that down. And somebody did. They were very nice. And I very much enjoyed it. I love the hobby of gaming. I love tabletop gaming. And for me, at times it's been a lifesaver. And I love to see it grow. And, people say, well, hell, I just bought all 3 sets of the reincarnated D&D dungeon tiles. And on the front, part of the front advertisement was world's greatest role-playing game. Well, I don't play D&D. I play it occasionally. But it's never really done it for me. I will admit I do like 5th edition. I like the way that they've done it, but I'm still not. That's kind of like not my style, not my thing. I'm a fantasy age guy. Fantasy age and now modern age. But overall, the point is that I back to the point I was trying to make is it's world's greatest role-playing game. Yeah, it is. It is. There's no doubt about that. With Pathfinder probably coming in a close second. Neither of them are really my style, but that's all right. I have at least one very good friend who actually runs or helps run the Florida Pathfinder or whatever group it is. And I'll always, if Dominic says, "Hey, you want to play?" I'm probably say, "Hey, you got a character or an NPC you'd like me to portray?" Always willing to help fellow game masters. Hey, look, I've got the dungeon tiles. Do you need to borrow them? That kind of thing. And I've never really regretted any of that. I love the community, and I think it would do us all a lot of good. Because I've read some of these edition wars, and oh my God, the whole Gamergate thing, and I just kind of sit there and go, wow, enough of that. By the way, I got my start. One of the earliest games I remember playing was the game that later became Dungeons and Dragons. And that is a set of medieval combat rules called Chainmail from TSR. I go back a long way. I was, I'm an Army veteran and Vietnam, in fact. And I was playing board games in high school and when I was in the Army. Started doing the miniatures probably sometime in the early 70s. And started doing role-playing games probably sometime in the mid to late 70s. So yeah, I am the gaming geezer. That's me. Gaming geezer all the way. I'll be 70 years old at the end of October. 70 years old. And I'm really looking forward to life in my 70s. Because I really, really have been enjoying all sorts of things. And especially the games, though. I love gaming. I love tabletop gaming. Might even eventually get into computer gaming. I don't know. I love the camaraderie. Anyway, I think I probably rambled on enough, and yeah, it looks good. So anyway, my friends, I guess this would be good night for. Holy cow! It's almost I've rambled on about 15 minutes. Okay, everybody, please take care and enjoy yourselves because that's what it's all about. having fun with your friends, with people that you care about. That's, to me, is what tabletop gaming is. So until next time, I will bid you fond adieu, and have a great week ahead. Good night.